Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to a new YouTube video of mine. This YouTube video is going to be a little different. I'm going to be reading hate comments that I've recently got on some of my posts. You guys can ignore the Goliath pimple I have on my face. I don't know why I have it. I think I just have so much testosterone running through my body because I drive a mutt cuts van and a truck with 14 light bars that is just making me break out. That's like the only thing I can think of. You know, I just want to go through some of the ridiculous things people comment. You know, I never really felt like I was the type of person to discuss some of the hate comments I get. And don't get me wrong, they're not terrible. I mean, some of them, if people actually followed through with them, would result in major injury or even possibly death to me. But I guess let's just get right into some of the comments that I have here. So I recently made a TikTok that currently has 2.2 million views, and it says, "I dare someone to drive past me with their brights," and it's showcasing the 14 light bars that I had on my front grille. And I would say probably about 70%, you know, maybe like 80-85% are good comments, so that's good. But I just wanted to go through some of the comments that I have been getting that are a little concerning. Just for disclaimer, yes, I had 14 light bars on my truck, as you can see in one of my past videos. And yeah, I made that TikTok saying I dare someone to flash their brights at me. I want people to know that I would never actually flash those at people on the road. A lot of comments on here are like, is that even legal? I don't know if it's legal or not, but I'm not really trying to find out whether it's legal or illegal. I don't plan on going to jail or yet running someone off the road by blinding them with 66,000 lumens. I'm a little smarter than that, and I don't know, maybe there's just a bunch of idiots online that make people think that I'm going to be blinding elderly people on the road and driving them off into a ditch. That's just a disclaimer to like show you that I'm not that type of person. Anyways, let's get right into it. So first one is I love fishing 23. If you wreck, it is going to be a couple $1,000s wasted in just the lights. It'll be about $500. That's about how much they cost. I think each light was like 45,000 lumens, 48,000 lumens, I don't know, whatever. All I know is it added up to 66,000 lumens. I wouldn't buy these lights necessarily if I couldn't afford it. You know, I was honestly planning on them getting destroyed for a certain amount of time, and then like literally I made that video and probably a couple hours after I made the video I took it off, because there's nothing good that's going to come to having stock alternator, stock batteries and stuff on my truck with 14 light bars on it. Like, it's gonna ruin an alternator, batteries, etc. Batteries are expensive, people. I think some people need attention and they just ramble on here too. This one's from Taintless Disc 62. What if people turn on their brights because you're already blinding them and they need to see the lane in order to remain in it and not yours? Okay. Again, I'm not going to willingly be driving just with these on constantly. Like, I'm going to have a whole different setup to even run this for a certain amount of time, let alone drive on the road with them on 24/7 and blind every person going down the road. Bray Bray says, 5'8", by the way. Okay, dude. I don't understand why people need to bring this up if, like, maybe he's been flashed by lights before that were super bright and has a soft spot for that. But no, dude, I'm not 5'8". I'm 5'9", man. There's a very inches matter, dude. An inch is a lot. I hate when people call me 5'8", because I am 5'9", on a good day. Anyways, joke, people. You know, some people just ramble on about random stuff on here, like, I don't even want to read this guy's name, but earlier I saw a truck with the brights on, and I tried flashing mine to let them know theirs are on, but then they seemed to not care, so I just let it go, even though it hurt my eyes, till I turned them. Afterwards, my eyes were still affected from the light. What? I guess I can relate to, I don't know, bro. That scared the living crap out of me. Alright, next one. I'll put a mirror on the front of my car cause I ride with my lows and everyone don't know I ride with lows. They think they're my brights. Like, come on. So he'll put a mirror on front of his car to blind me? To, like, you know, reflect the light and then blind me myself. Buddy, I'll just burn your lights right off with 66,000 lumens. I'll just melt that mirror of yours. Next one. No air to radiator now. Probably engine will overheat. You know, I haven't really drove it far enough to try that. But for example, right behind me I have my Mutt Cuts fan, which I probably have hundreds of comments on that TikTok about this Mutt Cuts fan. Like, everyone's like, we want you to address the elephant in the room. I've made, like, my whole TikTok is almost based off of this Mutt Cuts fan back here. If you guys would look at my video, you would see that I address it like 20 times. But anyways, let me just show you. So, this nose back here opens up, radiator air can flow through here. There are 2 holes right here that will allow air to flow right through into the radiator. And yeah, keep in mind, these are 2 tiny, just tiny holes about that big, and it's never overheated. So, like, the light bars being in front of my truck for a little bit, like, I feel airflow could also get around them. You know, it can go through the gaps and stuff. I feel like it's not as big as a deal as everyone makes it to be. But yet again, I'm not making 8-hour drives to really know, so maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong. I have no clue. Ain't got enough battery or charging system to run all that. I mean, it can, because I did. It did blow fuses, but if I got a bigger fuse or used more wire that had separate fuses on it, I'm sure it would run it just fine. Like, my truck was running just fine. Actually, my truck starts better. After I took those light bars off, it starts like 2 times better. I used to have to jump it in the morning. Now it just starts right up. Oh, here's Dan TDM, the off-brand Dan TDM. I still would, it doesn't matter. Matter of fact, I would drive right past you and flash my brights in your face. And if you were to turn those lights on, I will then call the cops on you because those lights are way too bright for the road. So yeah, please try it because I will get you put in jail for the lights. So, this might have hit too close to home for this guy. He must have bought those Temu 30,000 lumen brights that you could put on your truck, car, etc. And maybe he's got flashed a few too many times. But again, I'm not driving this on public roads. I'm not just flashing people. I know that this is it was a literal sun on my truck. So yes, it could result in being dangerous, but that guy took it personally. If I can't see to avoid a head-on, you're losing the battle. Well, again, I'm not putting my brights on. If you don't have your brights on, and let alone I'm not just driving around with these things on, willingly flashing people with 66,000 lumens, or 666,000 lumens. Okay, whatever. On to the next one. Ever heard of a Smith & Wesson? Yeah, for people who don't know, Smith & Wesson is a gun. So he's basically not, I don't know if that's a threat or what, but he will pull a Smith & Wesson on me, I guess, if I flash those light bars at him. Alright. I guess whatever floats your boat, dude. Again, I wouldn't do that, but here's another one. I accidentally leave my brights on and you turn that on. I'm turning my 1 ton into the bright light like a moth. We are both dead because of your poor decision. Oh no. Well, there won't be an opportunity for that to happen because I'm not enough of an idiot to be driving this on the road with my lights on. But disclaimer, if you don't want something like that to happen, maybe you should turn your brights off. You know, I'm just gonna leave that at that. Oh, here's a good one. Here's a good one. From T-Man, whatever, 500 billion numbers. If you come at me, I'm going to turn around, turn my lights off, and go 100 till I pass you. then a mile ahead, I'm going to turn around and drive on the wrong side of the road with my lights off to see if your brights would still work with a head on. So this guy isn't just gonna drive into me if I have these brights on, he's gonna drive past me, then he's gonna turn around, turn his lights off, drive past me at 100 miles per hour, get in front of me again, and then hit me. Because that makes a lot of sense. Guys, I'm not having these brights on. I don't even have them on right now. Like, I am not as much of an idiot to keep these brights on, and let alone if someone does have their brights on. Like, I probably still won't even flash you. Possibly, maybe, I don't know. See, the thing is, people don't understand it's for a TikTok. But yet again, kind of like a head-on car crash death threat here, because I have 14 light bars on my truck, is a little extra. No? Maybe not. I guess I'm failing to understand some of these people's thought processes here. If someone hits me with their brights, I will pull out my 1,000,000 lumen spotlight, shine it right at their face. 1,000,000 lumens, huh? Let me see if there's a 1,000,000 lumen spotlight out here. So it looks like there's a 1,000,000 lumen spotlight at Walmart for 30 bucks. You know, maybe in the next video I'll test that out. Because I don't think that's legit. I need to compare that. Because my truck with its lights and the light bars is 6,600 or 660,000 lumens. And the fact that one spotlight that's 30 bucks is 1,000,000 lumens. Maybe we'll have to try that out. But I'm genuinely curious about that one. Alright, and the last one I got saved, I got bored going through them. Nobody will drive by you because you will be broke down on the side of the road overheated because you blocked your airflow in the front. Well, I just kind of went through that theory there with the Mutt Cuts fan back there that literally has 2 holes of airflow back there. And it does just fine. So maybe that's not the possibility. I honestly thought that was going to be like a Duramax joke, being like, oh, since you're driving a Duramax, it's going to be broke down and then my power stroke's going to have to come and get you. Keep in mind, people, I'm driving a piece of crap 2001 LB7 Duramax. It could break down. It honestly could. It has 380,000 miles on it. And I've been almost daily driving it. And it's done just fine until it breaks down. But anyways, I guess that concludes what I'm trying to get at here. Just trying to clear up the air that TikTok's not legit. I don't know why people really think that I'm going to go around and just absolutely blind the piss out of people on the road for fun. But also was for a TikTok, and people are giving me some serious threats over a TikTok that was a joke. People take things too seriously online, and if you're threatening, giving death threats of hitting people head on online, you know, maybe you should rethink or go outside and breathe the air, touch the grass or the dirt if you don't have any grass. Maybe I should call these guys' bluff and actually throw on my 14 light bars again and go and, you know, drive past these guys and flash them. See if they are actually going to hit me with a head on. They're not churning up here as well, so maybe they will hit me. Thanks for watching. So I'm going to start trying to post like every week.